Battle started.
G'day viewers, we're back in between holiday shenanigans to cast another Discord replay submission from a new member of our community. Should you want to see one of your games cast here, I'm in the Discord, link in the description below. This one is played on one of my favourite small maps, it's Wanderlust. The playable field is defined by a rift valley with a central plateau where bots can traverse all over the map, however vehicles cannot access the hills on the north and the south of the map. Let's look at our teams. Now, this is what I like to call a fun level of skill game. Our blue team, ranging from 9 to 16 OS, is all going what looks like Armada bots. Yep. Players maintaining that Australian United States Alliance that was formed in 1952. A little bit of trivia there for you. And looking past these scribbles onto the red team, where our Aussie ancestry came from, or a lot of it anyway. We have 3 players from the UK ranging from 8 to 18 OS, maybe slightly higher OS team, but the blue team with a few more hours played thanks to that blue player Anarchy with that silver chevron underneath that banner there. We've got 2 Cortex bot players and 1 Armada player on the field here. And I like to see this commander running straight up to this field, getting these mexes. Throw an LLT down and that could be quite easy to defend there if you can get up there this quick. Mind you, we've got a bunch of ticks on this side, definitely not enough to take on a commander. Looking up north, a bit of scouting for the blue player, the cyan player. Nicely done there, just making sure that we've got nothing else coming up on the hill. Wouldn't mind seeing that tick moved up to the middle here. But you can see 3 of these golden mix points are worth 3, an extra 1.1 on top of the standard, down on the lower plateaus of fields of this map. Economy's looking pretty even for all players. The red may be a little bit behind just by taking the commander straight out of the base, but we... Ooh, ticks have been pulled. What have we got here to defend? Hopefully these pawns will be pulled back to take on the ticks, which we should see happen, but not before this constructor goes down maybe. And gonna walk straight back into a surround bonus, and then these ticks are moved on. Can they take out some of those mixers? Definitely faster. Ooh, bit of a missed micro. Pump it back. No, we don't get away. Nicely done, but what it's done is distract the red commander from continuing on with this build order that was previously set up there and getting things going back in the base again. Follow up from the blue player Anarchy taking in those pawns, and with these red pawns coming in one at a time and nothing more in the build queue, we might actually see a bit of base damage here. Very nice pull, nice teamwork from the blue player, showing that little bit of extra experience. Really helps when you get vision in the base, and that's what those ticks did provide. Got to be careful there, those pawns a little bit too close to that mech and taking on some damage. Very nicely done, and we're going to see another... See the construction bot go down. That would really hurt, seeing 2 construction bots fall this early in the game. All mechs is down. This is really hurting. Nicely played by the blue player. And I know we've taken the red bots forward instead of defending there. And 1 pawn potentially going to take out that lab. Up to silver chevrons. 2 silver chevrons. Not going to be enough to take on 3 of these, I don't think, though. But the green player. Great teamwork out of the blue and the green players here. Harassing early, and down goes that lab. Very nicely done. Some very good aggression from a lower level lobby, and now the green commander and red commander are facing off on the top of the hill. Red's shying away a little bit, having no energy there. There's not going to be much energy to D-gun. And you can see what the green player's done here, quite smart. When you're building an LLT, put your commander in front of it so that the other commander can't come along and D-gun it. And a nice transition into rocket bots, which outrange those commanders. See how much more damage the red player is taking by having that LLT there, which is now up to a very quick double silver star. And a tasty D-gun. Blue player now pushing forward again, seeing the advantages that this southern side of the map's happening. And here's some more commanders dueling in the north. And that LLT doing its work, returning the favour. A 3-4 gold star. Wow. 0 LLT which falls, but taking out the commander, very nicely done. And Monkey Key maybe going to be able to take some metal out of this. Are we going to get the metal? No, too many units. I'd be maybe putting down the D gun through that corpse. Were we meant to miss that? I'd be putting the D gun through this just to deny that 1,200 metal. But here, there, D gun not able to be fired. Blue harassing. I think we might see some more wing go down. Blue team already in an economic advantage with the red player's base falling. And nicely done. The blue player really showing that little bit of extra experience. Good to see the metal going back into the economy of the blue team as well. Especially with 2 commanders still remaining. Get that metal into units, get them out on the field, and we're going just into pawns. I wouldn't even mind seeing some Centurions coming out at this side of the stage of the game. Those Centurions can outrange the commander and take a commander on. You've microed really well. Red commander doing their best to get back to the yellow player's base for a little bit of defense, and Roosters, the green commander, pushing down into what was Red's base. I think we'd probably see, yep, we can see a reclaim command for that 690 metal going back into the bank, and really can see the advantage of reclaiming that commander on the top right, as well as the expanded economy where these have now been all taken up on the hill here. Got one down on the ground. No one's taken the middle max. Yellow's got hold of the opposite end of the map, but metal produced 20% in advantage of the blue player. This LLT really creating an advantage for the yellow team here, and I don't think we're going to see much get past. It might be a case of just deny and keep the red and players those mexes until you can build up a bit of a force there. Down here, going to see this green player push into the base. I would love to see it. Red team struggling to spend their metal with 2 players almost overflowing. Here we go. Those rocket bots definitely outranging the grunts. The grunts not doing a lot of damage. Each rocket taking off about 2/3 of the life of a grunt. So there's definitely enough here to push through, but these thugs are a good unit choice to take on the rocket bots. With a lot more armor, they will survive. It's only taking about 14% damage per missile hit. Very sneaky by the green player. And here we see a mass pull of grunts getting through those LLTs. And yellow has pulled their units back, knowing that the base is under threat. Rightly so as well. We lose a second base to the blue team. I reckon that's a good game in the bag. And another commander goes down. Very nicely done. Well, the green commander crying for help. No energy in the bank, and we've got plenty of grunts. You can hear the D-gun trying to fire, but nothing happening. And that is, you can see how fast the surround bonus is taking down that commander. Very nicely done. Just like that, the blue team down to only 1 commander. So, economic advantage now slightly in the favour of the red team by the looks of things. For energy anyway. And that's thanks to those advanced solars that have gone up by the orange player. Nicely done. Are we going to see a comeback here? Having said that, orange commander in a little bit of trouble there. Nope. Good use of the D-gun. Very nicely done. Army value as well in the advantage of the red team. What are we going to see out of the players here? What you want to do with these orange units here, unfortunately being fed in one at a time, they're doing hardly any damage. You want to group them up and then send them all. So like select them, drag them back and then bring them forward. Nice pull here by the blue team. Can we get those converters which will go pop and chain react? Yes they do, and they even take out, very nicely done, taking out an advanced solar. Yeah, dropping the energy production very quickly right there. Wouldn't mind seeing Roosters push their units back down into the base there, but obviously no sight, I don't believe, to see that there is nothing down there. Wouldn't mind seeing a reclaim rather than a res here as well, out of the yellow player. Needing the metal, needing to get those units out on the field. Anarchy doing very good to keep building those wind up. Oh! An air transition. I was wondering why no more units were coming to the front line for the green player. So what you want to do here is cancel any bots coming out of the lab and just focus on those aircraft. I reckon that's the way to go. Check back in there shortly. Most of the action happening up on the north of the map, where you can see those rocket bots outranging all the pawns. Sorry, the grunts. And we've got that Centurion, a couple plasma bots up on the front line, so I'm liking the health of this blue army here. You can see that army value slightly ahead now for the blue team. Those grunts falling very quickly to the missiles from the rocket bots. Once you get this many, we've got 10 up here on the front line. They can spread their damage out very evenly, and even if you miss 1 or 2 units, it's probably going to hit something behind. And these LLTs are going to be outranged by all of these. So once you see these units start dwindling away, you want to use the flight command, and that'll keep these rocket bots just out of range of the LLTs, but a good pull. Sorry, back to what I was saying. Using that flight command will keep these rocket bots from completely engaging the LLTs and outrange them and take them out slowly. Number of thugs coming through up here. Good angle of approach as well with these thugs, because these rocket bots and pawns are going to only be able to take them on one at a time. You can see some rearranging there, and these get pulled. I don't think that there's going to be enough of a surround bonus for this green player. Bug's definitely a powerful unit, a lot of hit points in these, and I'm going to take these all out. I'd like to see them focus on their LLT though, because the LLT might take them out now. We're just going for the mechs. Nicely done. Bombers building up in the background. An excess of metal there as well. Wouldn't mind seeing the green player share that to his teammates. We've got 6. And a lot of harassment. More rocket bots, the unit of the game so far. And being sure to reclaim all this metal on the front line is really what makes a difference in a game. Red team looking in shambles. Blue team back in the economic league of all fronts. What is the answer to this? Not much metal. I would probably just like to see slow expansion. We really need to regain this south area here. Instead of rezzing these commanders, reclaim them, use that metal to build units and get that advantage back. Here we go with the bombers. We don't have any anti-air. We're seeing the lab targeted, which would have been spotted by the blue players' early raids. Very nicely done. And spreading out the damage into the economy as well. Pop goes the eco. Very nicely done. And now we're going over to the orange base, where we can already see that the economy is all clumped up there. We probably will see chain reaction out of all those construction turrets. Very nicely done. And this is as good as good game, unless we can get a commander site. Plasma bots on the front line. The mace going to... Do they outrange the commander? Got a range of 380 compared to 300. So yes, they do, but not being microed. Able to shoot those down. A couple anti-air bots coming out and a thistle up This will be enough to slowly take out the T1 Stormbringers, but not going to be early enough to counter this. We've got 2 commanders left, and that's about it. I don't think there's any coming back from this. Very good aggression out of that US-Australian alliance against the UK. Well done, Australian boys, representing. As this one wraps up, let's jump into the statistics, and you can see a lot of damage done there. The damage efficiency is what really counts. We've got the blue team there on 120 damage efficiency compared to 71% out of the red, and that would have probably a lot of that been from feeding those units in one at a time rather than lining them up and making sure you're getting good engagements. And the economies as well. We'll check out those graphs afterwards. And we might hit fast forward on this. I think we know where this one's going. And we've got a bunch of grunts coming in to take out these commanders. I do like to see that the yellow player isn't giving up until the last minutes. But I think this is the time for a control D. There is no coming back from this. We might see an explosion from a chain reaction between these commanders. And there we have it. Nicely played by all teams. Hope you guys enjoyed this cast.
Battle ended.
And a golden cow out of the green player. Nicely done, Roosters. Over to those graphs, so team stats, and we look at the economy, because the economy is what drives the game. And you can see that baseline there. You can really see when the red player lost most of the base there. And then similarly, the yellow player lost the base, so started falling behind. Orange player doing very good to keep ahead of the eco there for most of the game. And where the game was 1 damage dealt. So a little bit more even than what I thought, but just having 1 player out for most of the game, that's really what won this game. That early attack, especially on these small maps, early attacks really make a difference. Yeah, a couple units into the background, take out a couple mexes, it will be enough to create that frontline difference where you're going to have a few more units compared to your opponent, because they've had to put that metal back into rebuilding their base. Hope you guys like this one. Just a reminder again to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Obviously non-committal, but we definitely enjoy it when you do. We hope to see you next time.